and sports fans from all around the globe. I am your host, Jeff Dawson, East Coast Sports Investors. And this is your breakfast bankroll for Monday, May 23rd, 2022. New week, new beginning, fresh start. Last full week of May. Holy shit, June is knocking on the door. It is Memorial Day weekend, and what a weekend we had here for the ECSI VIPs. If you go back to our show on Thursday, Sean Alvarez at Smooth Turn on Twitter gives us the trifecta for a $9 punch. $1 try paid $66. A lot of our ECSI VIPs had $5 and $10 tries. Hats off to you. Hats off to Sean Alvarez. The major yesterday, the PGA Championship, one that I was puking all week because we were asked by the people, and we're here for the people. Jeff, can you add some more to the tournaments? Can you get some head-to-heads in there? Can you get some first-round leaders in there? Even some top nationalities. We had top Asian, which we pushed with Mr. Matsuyama. Can you get creative? Because in a lot of these sports books, you have opportunities to get creative. And that's what we did. But by getting creative, we took less swings for the outright. It's hard. You're threading a needle. I think there was 142 golfers. So to pick the one guy holding the trophy pre-flop is not easy to do. And we had MITO Perez at top 20 at plus 273, top 40 plus 110. Our algorithm had him at 48-1, and his market price, he went off at over 200-1. So as he's standing on 18 with a one-shot lead, I was just thinking of the what could have been, because we had Justin Thomas plus 1930. And obviously anyone watching that tournament knows exactly what happened. As I said in the description, MITO ended up in Schitt's Creek, no pun intended there, with his 18th hole first, his drive, and pulled out the driver, and just I don't know. I do feel for him. I've been there. I've done that a million times. As before the show started, and our co-host Riley and our producer Kiefer, I told them, shit, I would have had a 5-iron out there. Just find the fairway. Will you just find the fairway? Then a 3-hole playoff with the Big Z, Willie Z, and Justin. And as I told the boys in the before the show, I'm driving on my way back from Yukon, and when Justin birdies the second hole, there was no fist pump, there was no ovation. We had to go back and say, shit, it's a 3-hole aggregate. And we hold on, and we cashed the 1930 there. 4-0 on our head-to-heads. We hit the plus money also with Patty Reed on top 40. Obviously, we had some losses, but huge card for us. Probably ended up at least plus 25, 27 units there. We're not one of those guys that put 15, 20 units in either. So a tremendous weekend for the VIPs with the Preakness, with the major. And now it's a new week. It's a fresh start. And we got a lot to talk about. We got Celtics in a do or die here, game 4. We got some hockey to talk about. The Panthers, obviously, on life support. I got to admit when I'm wrong. I had the Leafs beating the Lightning, and I had a Leafs-Panthers with that winner moving on to the Eastern Conference Finals. Doesn't look good, obviously, there. Looks like Mr. Kane has found new life with Connor McDavid. I think I could lace him up and get a point or two if I was playing with Connor there. Just full of sports. MLB Red Sox heating up at the right time. It's fun to see. But without further ado, let's bring in our co-host. Get a little thought on his weekend, what he saw from the Windy City, the one and only Mr. Riley Magnuson. Good morning, sir.
More to my friend. Congrats to you once again on the Victory Monday. I mean, I didn't have as nearly the same type of Victory Monday that you had, but I don't remember if it was Wednesday or Thursday or Friday, whatever it was. hoping for a victory Monday, and you, sir, cashed in on it most definitely. We got our White Sox and Red Sox coming up this week as well. Our, kind of our surprise little showdown, impromptu showdown almost for the show here in the mornings. But I'm ready to dive in, after a second here, ready to dive into this week because it's a huge one. I had a couple of whiffs. I tweeted it out this morning for my blog. I had a couple gigantic whiffs. We joked, I think it was Friday, if you see me taking someone to miss the cut, drop your mortgage on him to at least finish top 10, whoever it is. I can't remember if he stayed up there, but Abraham Answer obviously had a nice weekend. But got the Matt Fitzpatrick top 10, 4-1 ticket to the window to get ourselves positive. Dropped a little JT top 5 yesterday morning. So on top of it wasn't the best baseball day. So and had a couple losses on the ice and lost the NBA game last night. So I was about break even for the whole weekend, but it was a fun tournament, man. I had Cantlay top 20. That there's so many fantastic golfers that just couldn't manage this course this weekend, and had some rough losses for a lot of people that dropped some nice sizable units on a lot of these guys. Zalatoris, obviously wasn't swinging his best there down the back nine. Otherwise, we might be talking differently here today, but. Hell of a tournament, man. You have to feel for MITO. But, for those, obviously, the fan favorite Justin Thomas, and obviously for someone like yourself, where, a lot of people are jumping for joy today. But I'm excited. We got the Memorial Tournament coming up in 2 weeks, I think. And then 2 weeks after that, another major. I don't know if it's the U.S. Open or the British Open. I can't think off the top of my head. But either way, another star-studded, month of golf coming up.
About an hour and 10 minutes, Brookline, the country club.
Okay.
I was there for the Ryder Cup a bazillion years ago.
Yeah.
I was there for a practice round. Was able to see a young Sergio, a young Tiger Woods. I was in, I think, 3 and 4. 3 comes down to like a par 4, and then 4 driver up a hill. And on Friday, Tiger Woods drove the ball. His tee snapped in half, but didn't all the way snap off. And his caddy, I'm like, hey, can I get that? And his caddy flipped me the tee. So I still have that. I got a signed ball from Sergio. I think that was one of the, if my memory serves me correct, I got a wave from Payne Stewart. I don't think it was much longer till Payne Stewart passes away.
Right.
It was just a memory that I'll never forget. What that really stood out to me at Brookline is when we were walking hole to hole. When you're walking across these fairways, it's like the putting greens that I would put on. The place was just immaculate.
Yeah, no kidding. I can't even imagine what I would shoot at one of these courses. And especially, I'm an okay putter, I guess, but yeah, it's the slow roll or the slow speed that you have to go with your club on that stuff, man. It's glass. It's glass compared to what I'm used to over here.
Before we get into today's baseball card, I have to ask this, and I'm not trying to stir the pot. I know there was some tension this weekend between Donaldson and Anderson, and his statement wasn't the first time these guys have had a couple issues. If the statement is true, what Mr. Donaldson said, shame on him. I think there should be actions. Again, it's he say, she say. What is the temperature? Give me, from your point of view, you're a big White Sox fan.
Yeah.
What the city's saying, and what's the temperature moving forward?
Yeah, it's really interesting. I think the best, as far as Josh Donaldson is concerned, I mean, he not only Tim Anderson, but he's had beef with, I think it was last year, if I'm not wrong, in 2 years, if not, beef with Lucas Giolito as well. Like, met him in the parking lot after a game or something along those lines. And if you haven't listened to Liam Hendricks, what he said about the situation, to kind of get the full clubhouse take of it, and I think what a lot of White Sox Nation feels like, there's a chunk of White Sox Nation that wants him, suspended for reasonable amount of time. I'm not going to debate that right or wrong as far as that is concerned. But Liam Hendricks basically comes out and says, these guys aren't friends. If you're talking about an inside joke, typically guys who don't get along don't have inside jokes. That's you basically calling it a bullshit statement. and 4 other clubhouse that Josh Donaldson has been a part of. With guys on the Sox have talked to, and they, have said similar things as far as not being a very likable guy. So it seems to just be kind of I kind of, in my personal belief, I don't know if he thought he was being demeaning or racist or anything like that. I think he just needs to be educated as far as to why, even if he wasn't trying to be, at the very least, if he wasn't trying to be, needs to be educated to why something like that, especially for someone that you clearly are not pals with by any means. I mean, you just had a scuffle, I think, 10 days before that, if not less. So it was really just tone deaf, man. And by a strange, weird way, maybe this was the type of spark that this team needs, Jeff, as far as Yasmani Grandal confronting him. I think it was Saturday at the plate later in the game, and then you obviously get the bench clearing. 2 straight wins on Sunday to win the series 2 out of 3 against a team that had our number for the last 2 seasons. I mean, I think our record after that is 4-14 or something like that over the last 2 years. So to get that series win, I hope it's some type of spark that gets us going. We're obviously 21-20 now, and still got a little ways to go to get back on top of the division and beyond, obviously. But personally, it's a team with a handful of flaws and some injuries, but in a lot of ways, I've said the only one concern that I have that I'm less optimistic is fixable is the defense, fielding defense. Everything other than that, with positive health trends here, I think a lot of our issues are fixable. And whether or not we stack up for a World Series contending shot, I'm not sure at this point, honestly. But I've still got a lot of optimism that we're the best team in the AL Central at the very least, and we should go on a nice little run here. Going to be an interesting week. Obviously, you got it's all about when you play teams, and obviously we caught your Red Sox at a weird time, 2 weeks ago, and now they're rolling in red hot, and the White Sox win 2 out of 3. So it should be a big series with both those teams, obviously, and then we get the Cubs after that, and I think Toronto after that. So it's a tough stretch for us for sure, but I'm still holding out some optimism as long as we, go positive, even little by little, and I'll, still feel optimistic because I think we're only 4 games back. It's not like the Twins are running away with this thing by any means. So still optimistic. I'm hoping, by a weird way, hopefully that was a type of spark that keeps us, gets a fire lit under our ass because, Tim Anderson is I think over the last, month or so, or maybe just in May, he's hitting close to 400 or something like that. So when he's rolling, we're rolling. So, trying to ride that wave and hopefully we can keep it rolling through the next couple of months here.
I'm looking at today's schedule, and one game that I will get to, I'm shocked, is that Florida Tampa running it back again. It's almost like they had this, as we like to say, Biff's almanac, or to the next day's paper. Here you got Tampa holding serve at home, up 3-0, and now think about it. They win tonight. They're probably going to get a rest after the Rangers win yesterday. That looks like, again, the Hurricanes and Bruins, that's all that happened is the home team won every home game, and the Rangers hold serve there. They get the day off, but Florida and Tampa are going to bounce back. So, and it's the first time that Tampa has been now favored in the whole series. They were even dogs at home last night, but I see them minus 122 today. There, Colorado, St. Louis opening up. This will be game 4 there. Colorado up 2-1
in that one.
2-1, yes.
Yeah.
There. Celtics Heat, which I know you'll have some stuff about. Again, on Sports Inside Wager Talk, they're saying the line opened at 7. It did not open up at 7. I was at the Garden on Saturday. The line opened at 6.5. Some spots 6 went right to 6.5. I did see a few flashes of 7 back to 6, 6.5. Obviously, we don't know about Butler. We don't know about Smart. And there's one other. So Tatum is fine, by the way. There was just, Tatum was right in front of me.
Okay.
I could see it the whole time. He falls down and he grabs his shoulder. And the play's going down the other end. And he's sitting there holding his shoulder. While the Heat miss a shot, and in come the Celtics in transition. He falls back down and curls up to a ball. I think the Celtics missed, and then they finally made it. Then they blew the whistle. I thought he got fell on. But again, it was a Willis Reed moment where he's
Right.
sitting down there for 10 minutes. They pull him off the court, and he comes back 5 minutes later.
Right. And yeah, from my perspective, I was, I was out of town for the weekend. And so I wasn't 100% locked in. And I remember turning and looking, and it looks like his arm, it looked like for a second his arm was like, kind of loose, flailing around, like dislocated shoulder. And I'm going, oh my God, what the hell just happened? And then obviously, yeah, he's all right. I think I saw something that Jimmy Butler intends on playing. I think if he were to be out of this game, I think this would be up closer to 7.5, 8 if he were out. I think, but I do think we heard some positive trends about him. Marcus Smart, I'm not sure, but I expect the Celtics to win this one. I'm probably staying away from that spread. I think that's kind of a toss up right there. But I do expect the Celtics to win. I saw you've got the extender, the equalizer, whatever you want to call him, Scott Foster, refereeing in the building tonight. So if you believe in Scott Foster himself, then you have to think the Celtics are going to even this one up and extend this one beyond 5-6 games. You're at least 6 games anyways. But I'm pretty firm that I think the Celtics win this one and bounce back and even it up at 2-2 here. But I'm not too sold on the -6. If I'm leaning there, I would probably lay the 6 if I had to. But I'm gonna stay away from that one and hold on to my Celtics to win the series ticket that I caught earlier on here after they went down 0-1.
And you talk about overreaction. Okay, so Celtics game 1, no Smart, no Horford, get blown out. Game 2, Celtics fully healthy, win by 25, just going away, whatever the final score was, it didn't matter. But the overreaction was the Celtics were -305 now to win the series. You could have caught the Heat at +2 and change. Celtics -6, 6.5. Game 3, I was there. And what did I see? I saw a Miami Heat team that just took it right to the Celtics in the first quarter. I saw Bam, whatever, just destroy them. There was no Time Lord, so no one could protect the rim and no one could guard in the paint. Whoever wanted to cut to the paint was scoring in the paint there. Here's a funny stat that I'll have for everyone. The Heat scored basically 40 points in the first quarter.
Right.
With 3 minutes to go in the fourth quarter, they had 96 points. So for the next 33 minutes, they scored a total of 56 points. And I tell you what, the Celtics had 20 plus turnovers, probably 25. They missed 7 free throws. Hats off to Spoelstra, who anyone here will, I hope, understand is the best coach in the NBA right now.
Yeah.
And they found something, A, in the paint, but B, whenever Jaylen Brown and Tatum dribble the ball into the paint, they dribble the ball in front of them, and there were more hands grabbing, stealing the ball. I've never seen more jump balls in an NBA game. I thought I was watching like a 7th and 8th grade game where every 5 seconds there's a tie-up and there's a jump ball. And it was just Celtics, an amazing rally. They cut it to 1, and the place was just, I couldn't talk to my right, talk to my left. It was just so bleeping loud. And then a big 3 to make it 4. Celtics missed, then 6, then 8. The rest was history there.
Yeah, and you mentioned the run that the Heat win in this last game. There was a huge quarter. I think it was quarter number 3 and game 1. That was like a 39-14 stretch for the Heat. So if you take away these 2 quarters, man, I don't even remember the stat that I saw. It was like the least amount of quarters won for a team that has won 2 out of 3 to start a series or something like that. So if you're reading into that, man, you just can't overreact to these NBA series, especially. And I think that's what we're seeing with the Heat in a lot of cases. And I'm still pretty firm in my belief that they're winning tonight and they're going to win the series in 6 or 7 for the Celtics here. So, any thoughts on the spread tonight, or are you kind of staying away?
I expect, like you do, I expect the Celtics to win. I'm going to bring everyone back to this. It's like Vegas is setting us up, and this is how I'll explain this. Game 5, Celtics Bucks. The Celtics were favored by 5. The Bucks won. The Celtics go back to Milwaukee. They win Game 6. They create a Game 7. Celtics favored by 5 and cover. Okay, so they're almost like setting you up. Heat for Game 3, 6-point dogs. They win outright. Vegas isn't budging. If anything, they're moving it up. The Nugget just went to a flat 6 as we speak. So I think the Celtics win. I think the Celtics cover. Will I have a ticket on it? Probably not.
Yeah.
I look to try to dive in, find some value and edges on the series as we progress. I haven't looked. You still can get some decent prices, I would assume, on the Celtics to win this series. Unfortunately, now they're going to have to find a way again to win a uh, a game back in South Beach. And I talked to a few clients last night. I'm going to just throw this out to everyone. Go check your sports books. If you watched what Golden State is doing to Dallas, they won again yesterday. They're up 3-0. And what I'm telling everyone is this is the Celtics and the Heat are just beating each other up. I mean, they're just
Yeah.
walking wounded. This is going to go 6 or 7 games. Okay. The most likely Golden State, do they have the heart and say, hey, let's just take Dallas out, put them out of the misery, or do they lay an egg and win game 5? The point is, Golden State's going to be a lot fresher. I would go dive in right now if you can get a minus 135. Take Golden State to win it all, and then you'll have opportunities. Whatever team is standing, whether it's the Celtics or Miami, and get it now because, listen, if Golden State sweeps and the Heat and Celtics play in 7, they're going to just be limping. The Golden State is going to look like gazelles out there.
Yeah, and I honestly, I don't know if I expected to go 6 or 7, but I at the minimum we're talking 6. Obviously, if the Celtics win tonight, but fortunately, I haven't mentioned too much, but I got the Warriors quite a bit earlier on in the season. I was pretty high on them really, really earlier on, so I am actually sitting. I'm hoping that's what we get here. I got them at 7-1 odds earlier on in the season, the Warriors to win the damn thing. So I'm still holding out hope for that one, obviously. Because yeah, I mean, even if obviously the Celtics are looking pretty damn banged up right now, so I think they get through. But you're right, man. Especially what we saw with Andrew Wiggins last night. Just that little bit extra. It's weird. It's a different team than they've had in the past. But as far as the danger that they can bring just from the dynamic scoring abilities of Poole and Wiggins, it's really, obviously I'm not comparing it to the KD teams. I'm talking about the before KD, obviously, but not quite as deep and balanced, but obviously as a top line scorers, it might be better than those teams. So I'm pretty damn high in them, but I'm not sure. I honestly am. I kind of hope. I'm not hoping. I don't know if expect is the right word. I kind of see a gigantic Luka performance in game 4 that, kind of one final last hurrah for him for the season, 40, 50 points, and they win. And then the Warriors close it out in 5. That's kind of what I'm expecting at this point right now.
I'm going to bring up, I'm going to change it up here. I'm going to try to, because I can't enlarge the screen like I used to. I'm going to go to Sports Insights here. You can get a free 3-day trial, I think it is, if you go to Sports Insights. Here's your baseball sheet for today. A lot of bright lights here. I'm going to just do a quick eye test here, see if I see anything. Pittsburgh opened up minus 120, now 137. Kind of crazy when you see them favorites. Cool's actually pitched pretty good for the Rockies there. Cubbies in Cincinnati. Cubbies a short favorite. Cubbies on Saturday just absolutely screaming. And I'm wearing this shirt. My daughter went to the Cubs a couple summers ago, and we had the Cubs up 4-0. We were 0-2 in bases this week with 4-0 leads, and they just played Bad News Bears down the stretch, and we lose in extras there. Dodgers at Washington, Anderson and Aiden. Dodgers up minus 219 there. Washington having a hard time in the back end, and they're just not hitting.
Right.
Philly at Atlanta, Wheeler versus Davidson. Kind of shocking here when you want to talk about a correction. Phillies opened up minus 109, now minus 131 there. That's a big number and nut for an Atlanta team that's playing some pretty good ball now. Milwaukee, San Diego, great series. Hauser versus Martinez. I'm just trying to see if I see anything here. Nothing out of the ordinary that overnight there was some big corrections. The biggest correction was that Phillies Atlanta game 109 to 131. But you have a full board here. Tell the listening audience what your eyes are seeing, maybe some early morning lanes, maybe a couple games you're going to play, some props, whatever it is. The board is yours, my friend.
Yeah, to double back to what you were just that Philly and Atlanta game, I'm at least interested in monitoring it. I won minus 136 up on FanDuel for the Phillies money line. First five money line up at minus 145. Last I checked, run line minus a half at minus 108. It looks like the way I see it, I think Wheeler could be in for a nice hot streak here. If we're talking corrected line and not just inflated line, he was really, really good last time out. And Davidson, I'm not too sure what we expect from Davidson. Might see some regression from him. Or I shouldn't say regression, but more, he's at 5.87 ERA, but more continued issues for him. I kind of lean towards some type of Phillies first five action in that one. Not sure what's going to happen. I think the Braves could maybe break out in the end of that game, so I'm going to stay away from that one. But I might be interested in first five action in this Phillies game. Maybe monitor it a little bit. Obviously, that one's I don't think we have any day games today, but that one was one that with that line movement, the difference between the money line and the first five, that one at least kind of sparked my radar a little bit. Other two that I really wanted to monitor, definitely didn't have any. This one I was a little skeptical about, but Kansas City and Arizona. Arizona right around minus 115. Greinke and Zach Davies. Davies has some solid numbers against Kansas City. Greinke, both of us have really talked. We're not huge fans of his. I'm not sure if we expect. Greinke obviously used to pitch in Arizona, so I don't know if we expect some type of nice showing in a former ballpark or anything like that. Arizona about 70% of money so far. And this was, I checked an hour or two ago, and this is still sitting here 65, 70% of money. It's not really doing much. So I want to monitor this one for sure. Gun to my head without looking at any lines and whatnot. I was leaning towards Davies, but lack of movement on this one I'm a little concerned about as far as the Diamondbacks. So I'm going to monitor that one. Did you see anything out of that one, or were you less interested there?
No, I think it's a Kansas City number. Davies has, if my memory's serving me correct, I've been getting beat up pretty good of late. I like the thought process with Zach coming back to Arizona. But the number's enticing as a royal play here for me. Arizona's been playing some pretty good ball. 21 and 22 versus 14 and 26 for the Royals. Neither team has a strong back end, an under-over 8.5. They have a dome. I have a weather alert there, but it's a retractable roof there, correct?
I think so.
Yeah. So I don't know why there'd be a weather alert there. But I think the number in Vegas has given us a tip that it is a Kansas City play.
Yeah, I was hoping to monitor it a little bit. I think that one's a later game anyways. 8:40 my time, 9:40 your time. So plenty of time to monitor that one a little bit. And then the other one that I was interested in diving into a little bit, Mets and Giants. Giants laying minus, about 145, 137 I see in a couple spots. 4 straight losses for the Giants. David Peterson, Alex Cobb. I'm not a huge Alex Cobb fan, but it does seem to me that this could be an Alex Cobb bounce back spot. He was really, really bad last time out. That would be where I'm going, and some regression opportunities for Peterson on the other side for the Mets. That's where that's kind of what that one said to me. Just off first glance, that one is, I think that's the latest game on the damn slate, so plenty of time for that one as well. But off this losing streak, coming in to break it with a bounce back from Cobb, that's where my eyes were lying. But their offense, 3 runs, 7 runs, 1-1 last 2 over their 4-game losing streak here. So, I guess you're looking for an offensive bounce back as well after a couple 1-run games against San Diego. But still at home for the Giants. I think, I'm leaning towards the Giants in that one. Is that, is that not enough value for you, or are you interested in the Giants there?
No, I like where your eyes are. I think that's the right side. As we were speaking on Don Best, I get a steam alert on the Mets, San Francisco Giants over 7.5. Kind of comical as you were talking about that. Not a big Peterson fan. Cobb, yes. San Fran at home, yes. Mets are one of those teams, though, that you seem like if you go against, you're always on the wrong side there. Yeah. 28 and 15. We talked about their great start and where they were positioned. I talked at length about a week ago when the news came out. Max was out 6 to 8 weeks. So now between no McGill, no DeGrom, and no Max, they're going to have to start plug and play to see where they can put these pieces in. And even if they go 500 for a stretch of a month or 6 weeks. They're sitting pretty good, but I like where your eyes are. I would expect a bounce back. It's at 136 as we speak. Golden Nugget has now just moved it to minus 140. It's 148 at FanDuel and 140 at DraftKings. Tough to pay that tax.
Yeah.
I'd probably look at the first 5 minus the hook and maybe try to get in that way.
Yeah, I think I agree with you on that one. That one, yeah, like I said, that one's the last game on the slate, so plenty of time to think about it and monitor. Other one, I didn't have super strong thoughts on it, but Toronto and St. Louis looks like a solid matchup this week. Barrios and Mikolas. St. Louis up to minus 120. And, this Toronto offense obviously coming in cold. St. Louis, another case where you get an 18-run outpouring yesterday. And so, I like I said, I don't have strong thoughts about this one, but maybe, I want to be interested in Toronto based off some regression for St. Louis, but their offense, Toronto, hasn't cracked over 3 runs in the last 5 games at least here. So I expect them obviously to break out of that here, but that I guess that's where I'm leaning, but I'm staying away from that one from right now, and maybe that's a little entertainment action for me on that one.
Probably the matchup of the day, and you're again spot on today, Riley, as always. Mikolas has been very good to us. He is pitched very, very well. A Toronto team that the bats are cold as ice. And you know what? I think the Yankees have now listen, last year Toronto was the talk of the town for a big stretch because they were the free swinging, coming up, putting crooked numbers every other inning, scoring 7, 8, 9 runs. The kids' life was grand. Now they had a target on their back, and they were the team expected to run and hide. Yet the Yankees right now are 29-12, 17 games over 500. Toronto 22-19, 7 games back. Going into St. Louis, who just put up 2 touchdowns, a field goal, and a 2-point conversion with Yachty to close. Yachty doesn't get the save. He doesn't get the hold either, but him and Pujols now have seen some pitching action. But here's the hardest part with back in Toronto. I just don't know which Barrios you're going to get. He's just hit or miss, hot and cold. He could come in and throw 6 scoreless innings. He could be out after 2 1/3, giving up 6 or 7 here. The value price is obviously, in my eyes, St. Louis. It's such a short favorite at home. But I think the right side currently would be the Jays.
I think so. I think my final conclusion is just either just enjoy that as a fan or maybe a little pizza money. I don't know. But, that one should be interesting. And then I think I had one other one that I was at least interested in mentioning. As far as entertainment, Brewers and Padres should be another one. That one's pretty close. Padres minus 115. Hauser, I don't know enough about Martinez to really make any educated assumptions about this one. Hauser's obviously been solid. But I don't know too much about Martinez. You have much of a read on him?
He has not been good. He's kind of that 4-5 starter. One of those where if you're going to fade San Diego, it's a good spot. And if you look with the eye test here, Hauser has been great. We did go against him in his last start, if my memory serves me correct, and we did win there. Again, outside looking in currently, I think this is a Milwaukee play. Milwaukee has the stronger back end as well. So I don't think you have to dive into the first 5 minus the hook. Or actually you'd have them even first 5.
Right.
I test alone right now. I'm showing 42% of the bets. Actually, let's do it this way. 58% of the bets are on San Diego. Yet 71% of the money's coming in on the Brewers. I think sharper, heavier money is coming in on Milwaukee. I do lean Milwaukee here.
Yeah, I think that's and I like the staying with the full game as opposed to the first 5 there. I could see it being even through 5 and maybe a 2-2 game or something along those lines. I could absolutely see that 3-3, maybe even that. But aside from that, any other games you were interested in chatting about? Because I know the Tigers have had a couple guys. I usually am interested in at least looking in these AL Central games, but Brieske, I'm not too sure about anything there. The Yankees lane minus 335. Not any strong thoughts for me there. Obviously, the Orioles in the side. I think that's 2 straight losses of a series, or did they split with the Orioles? I don't remember, but I'm not trying to get involved in that one either.
No, I think that's about it. I think we hit what we had to hit in the bases. I did some early talk on the pucks. Um, you know, as much as I don't want to, wave the white flag here, Florida, the President Cup champs. Uh, what I see their problem very simply is obviously they don't have a Vasilevsky, though Bob's a good goalie. I'm not there.
Yeah.
The problem with the Panthers very simply is this. In the regular season, they could go down 2 or 3 goals and they could make this amazing comeback. They can't get out in front. When's the last time this Panther team took a 2-goal lead? They haven't. And you get behind, especially against a Tampa team, and you got Vasilevsky back there. You have 2-time defending champs. They know how to play these games, especially in the playoffs. And I was wrong. I didn't see this coming from Tampa. I think if Tampa plays their cards right, they sweep them. They get Florida. They're their daddy. Florida, great regular season. Now go play some golf. Enjoy the Flamingos. And they'll just sit and wait and hope that the Carolina Rangers series goes 6 or 7.
Yeah, I think that's so any interest in I guess I haven't looked at those odds, and I keep mentioning I'm not the hockey guy, but is that kind of a similar feeling as far as the Lightning to get through to the Stanley Cup as kind of the Warriors waiting on the Heat and Celtics kind of just hoping to get through and then licking their chops waiting hoping to go 6-7 and they bruise each other up pretty good?
I think a Tampa Carolina series will be pretty damn good. It's funny,
Yeah.
okay? So in October, my two my 2 plays in October was Carolina and the Panthers. You and I were on shows. I talked about in NBA in the East, Bulls and Heat. And now and I talked about out West, Golden State. And it's just funny how these things start coming. I'll just tell you right now, and I'll take it whatever. Whoever comes out of the East is not going to be favored, and it'll be closer to a favor, maybe plus 140, 150. The Avs are coming out of the West, okay? Yeah. The Avs are coming out of the West. Now, if they played a Tampa, maybe they're favored 160 to plus 140, maybe a little more. Carolina has not lost at home. They're just a different team at home. They can't win on the road yet. But I think a Tampa Carolina will be a 6-7 game series if that does come to happen. Don't forget Vasilevsky and Tampa 17-0 off a loss the last 3 years in the playoffs. But you're right. I think if Tampa takes care of business, they're going to be sitting. Maybe they're a little flat. Game 1, they lose it, and then they take the next 4 out of 5 against the Rangers or Carolina. But I was wrong. Yes, I said it, guys. I was wrong. Tampa looks like they're pretty damn good. They won a 3-peat.
It looks like minus 115 on FanDuel to make it to the cup for the Lightning. I'm holding my finger up. Just got news. Tyler Hero is out for the Heat tonight. No Tyler Hero for Miami tonight in Game 4 is what I just saw here.
Closing thoughts, my friend.
I think it's going to be a hell of a week, my friend. I obviously, as a basketball fan and obviously someone that's got a Celtics series ticket, I'm hoping that the Celtics even this one out. I expect that too. And the entertainment value I think is going to start ticking up in the NBA playoffs. I know a lot of people are kind of complaining there's been too many blowouts or not really any exciting games here in these series. Whether that's in this Celtics Heat series or maybe it'll have to wait till the next series. I think the excitement level is going to turn way the hell up, and there's going to be a lot more fireworks, a lot more entertaining finishes because we did have some in the past couple of rounds. It's obviously just gotten kind of folded over here as these games have been, close to 10 to 20 point victories either way. But I think we'll have a good one tonight, if not a nice Celtics roll. Another good one tomorrow night or a first time good one for the Warriors and Mavs. And then we'll be on to the old NBA Finals and, hopefully Warriors in my sake and Celtics in your sake. But I'm excited. I'm excited for the White Sox and Red Sox. We'll have a chance to give each other some grief. Sox got the White Sox. Sorry, I know I gotta clarify when I say Sox. I gotta say White Sox when I'm in your company. Your Sox fall to the wayside, get swept by my guys. We'll see if you can return the favor coming into my neck of the woods. I bought tickets. It might rain, so I might get washed out. But I bought tickets for Wednesday night, Sox and Sox here on the south, or down on the south side in my case. But we'll see how it goes. Just got another alert. Jimmy Butler's going to intend on playing tonight. So that's all I've got. Let's have a damn week, and let's get some nice wins on the table again here, my friend.
Coming off an amazing weekend, I have to stress this to everyone. It's the last week of May. The tendency for a lot of people, especially if you had a big weekend, you cashed 20, 25 units, however you played the PGA, you hit the $5, $10 try on the Preakness. You're walking around like this on Monday, and you're just like, you're like, man, do I have to work? Maybe I can become that professional gambler that I really wanted to be, right? And guys, pump the brakes. Okay. Well, maybe, I've only been betting 100 a game. I've always wanted to bet 150, 200 a game. Pump the brakes. Coming up to June, you will have the NBA Finals. You will have the NHL Round 3 and the Stanley Cup Finals. You will have the Belmont in 3 weeks. And as we play to the All-Star break. And then I always say this, and I want to close with this. At the All-Star break, it gets fun because it's the dog days of summer. Myself, Riley, and everyone else on ECSI is just like, all right, guys, dig deep here as we start to proceed with the second half of the baseball season. We start to do our college and NFL homework. We'll probably do a lot of conference preseason talks. Yeah. We'll talk some NFL. Don't expect us to be giving out NFL preseason games.
No.
You guys got gambling Twitter for that. Not here at ECSI.
Not here.
But the point is here, it's summertime. Kids are out of school. You got a vacation house, a summer cottage at the beach. The wife wants you to take 6 weeks off. We get it. But there's a good chance that you can make some good money still leading up to Labor Day weekend and football. And don't get caught up in the hype where I'm going to go crush the books this fall in football because they're never sharper. They kind of let you win a couple weeks in September. They give you the favorites. They give you the overs. You're feeling great. They're just giving you a couple carrots to hope that you make it to Thanksgiving. I said Thanksgiving, not the Super Bowl, guys. But it's just spin, rinse, repeat, spin, rinse. It's Groundhog Day every day here, guys. That's what I'm trying to say. If you had a good day yesterday, doesn't mean you're going to have a good day today, but that's our job to hope to make a few good days and hope to cash some tickets. So I want to thank everyone here that joined us here for the Breakfast Bankroll. If you have not, I said have not, subscribed to our YouTube or Twitch channel, just go over to East Coast Sports Investors. Just hit the subscribe button. It's free. Smash the like button. And yes, now you can have all of our shows on podcasts. You can download everyone but Apple. We're waiting for the okay from Apple, but we got, I don't even know. There's 4 or 5 of them. I know it's iHeart. I know it's Spotify. There it is.
On Spotify.
We have made it to the big leagues, guys. There's a couple other places you can get it that I didn't even know existed. They're just a dime a dozen. But now on podcast. So jump in your car as you're going to the park, and you want to listen to myself, Riley, and Scott Webb, and everyone else. You can just download that on podcast form. So we couldn't be happier. Big things are brewing. And this is just the start. As Karen Carpenter once sang, we've only just begun. Or if you remember that in Happy Gilmore, there you go. So at 1 o'clock, Julian Edlow from DraftKings. We'll be talking more Celtics. We'll talk some props, what he sees. Maybe he'll give us some leans for the next day's game, Golden State and Warriors. Maybe a couple NFL early season leans from Julian, some under overs and stuff like that. Around 6:15, we'll be back for the closing bell. And throughout the week, we will have Riley in the mornings, unless we have some confirmed guests. I do know Andrew will be here on Wednesday at his usual time, waiting for confirmation on Dave Sharapan, Jeffrey Benson, and we might have a surprise guest. Sharapan, other half, Mr. Matt Peralt, might be joining us from Vegas. So, from myself, Jeff Dawson at EC Sports Invest, from Riley Magnuson at Riley_Magnuson, the one. We wish everyone a blessed day. And always, always, always remember this. If you have a problem, pick up the phone. There is an 800 number available. Ask for help. Why? Myself and Riley care. We want to see you here today, tomorrow, next week, next month, through 2022 and beyond. For myself, Jeff Dawson, my co-host, Riley Magnuson, have a day, and we'll see you back at 1 o'clock.